Hello slot car fans. So today I am launching into the first of the real videos on the YouTube channel of Braid Runner, and the first videos, or the first few videos, as I mentioned earlier, are going to be about my journey to the 2025 USA Slot.It Nationals. I'm going to go straight in. I don't want to hang around. First of all, let's talk about the three main variables that I'm going to be dealing with in the run-up. So the three main variables are selecting and testing and tuning a car. Second one would be doing something similar with hand controllers. I'm looking for a performance edge with hand controllers, so I'm going to be doing some testing around that. Excuse me. And the last one is the track itself. The track has changed a little bit at the venue, and I'll go into more detail about that later. So first of all, the event. Let's talk about the event. Slot.It Nationals in the US is always a big affair. Has been for the last five or so years. 75 entrants. You have to register. You can't just rock up. You have to register, and I believe all the places are sold out now, so unless you're on a wait list, you're not going to be lucky. You can't really go for that one. The track will be at Electric Dreams, the online and shopfront retailer. Awesome place to visit if you get a chance. The track is called the Cunningham track. It's a 6-lane wood-rated track, and it's a nice track. It's a very nice track. I went last year in 2024, had a great time, and yeah, the track is nice. It's challenging. It is challenging, but it's very rewarding when you hook up a lap. The formula, if you like, or the rule set: Slot.It Group C only, mainly Slot.It parts. Certain things are handout, so they're prescribed for you. So, for example, the motor, and the which is limited to a 23k Slot.It S-can motor, short can motor. The wheels and tyres on the rear are also prescribed. So Slot.It G25 on the appropriate rims, I can't remember at the moment, but the rims and the tyres are handout, so you can't just do your own thing there. Apart from that, it's a Slot.It Group C chassis. Not a lot of ballast. You're not allowed to add a lot of ballast to these cars. You can use the Slot.It tungsten weights in the motor pod itself. There are 2 spaces for those tungsten weights, and you can use 0 or 1 or 2. That's the only ballast you're allowed to put in the car. Excuse me. So yeah, it's quite a narrow set of rules that we're working to, but that's good. That's good for close racing. That's the car. The event is held over 4 days. So Thursday, Friday I'll practice. Saturday is qualifying. Sunday is the race itself. And the race is multiple heats, and you just race to go and advance into the next level. So it can be quite intense. If you qualify fast, if you're, I think, one of the top 3, you automatically advance to the semi-finals. So you then take a 6-hour sit out and wait for everybody else to catch up with you, as it were, to get to the semi-finals. So that's the race format. I think it's 2-minute heats, I believe. Obviously 6 lanes, 6 heats per race. Yeah, and you progressively work your way into the semis and the final. There's also something called a bump heat, whereby someone who maybe had a bit of a mishap has a second chance to advance to the semi-final stage. So, for instance, you know, if you have a breakage on your car that wasn't your fault, then you may, if you've already qualified for the bump heat, you can like get a second chance, as it were. I'm not sure how that one works. It does work because it's been used many times. I'm not very sure on how it works. So that's the race format. It's a tiring event, you know, 4 days, and trying to get to know the track, of course, for someone out of town like myself. It's a tiring event, but so worthwhile. So I mentioned the test schedule. The 3 variables being the car, the hand controller, and the track itself. They're the 3 main variables. There are others, like, you know, diet and exercise, which I'm going to gloss over, obviously. So yes, car, controller, track. So taking those in order, I have put together a test schedule for the cars. I have put a shortlist together of 9 cars. It doesn't sound like a shortlist, does it? And the reason for that is because the car that I used in 2024 is no longer eligible. The rules have changed. The car I used was a Nissan. Nissans are too competitive compared to the rest of the field, so they've been given a balance of performance weight penalty, which is only right and fair. It's otherwise, the race is going to be a Nissan benefit, and no one else will get a look in. So yes, the the intention is to bring the Nissan back into closer to the rest of the field. So my car is probably going to be uncompetitive. So I'm looking for a new car, hence the short list of 9. So that's part of the testing. So I'm gonna show you the cars that I'm testing now. I'm gonna just flip the screen over. Hopefully this works. As you know, I'm not a video professional, but hopefully this will work. And I'll just show you the cars. So there you go. The Nissan at the front there, that's my 2024 car. I'm going to use it as a benchmark, but the other cars I need to just assess on their own performance. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you will see that there's also a red Nissan in there as well. That's built to the 2025 rules, just to see if it's competitive or not. I've got my doubts. Let's see. Let's keep an open mind. So that's the cars, all built to the same specification, approximately, and I'm testing them with the same rear tyres, so that as far as possible, I can get a sense of the relativities in performance of the chassis rather than anything else like the tyres. I'll also be moving the motor pod over as well for the same reason. Okay, so yeah, I hope to eliminate, I beg your pardon, I hope to eliminate at least 4 of these, maybe 5 if I can, so that I can then focus my next level of testing on the remaining 3 or 4. So there we go. That's the. So I'll come back to you later with the results of that, and let's move on to the next variable, which is hand controllers. So hand controllers, very personal thing. The way that you use your trigger finger is very individual and very sensitive to the hand controller that you use. Now, I've been using, for the last 12 years, I've been using an analog DeFalco, which is, for me, is a great controller. Really good, robust. You can do maintenance if you need to. Responsive. The controls give you a lot of adjustment in terms of the things you want to adjust. It's been a really good controller. But I have to acknowledge, with the current swathe of digital controllers, the digital controllers seem to have a lot of features in terms of fine-tuning that the analog controllers don't. And I need to assess for myself whether an increase in the number of features equates to an increase in the opportunity for improvements in performance. So I'm going to be testing hand controllers. That's a tough one because, as I say, your mind and your trigger finger get tuned into a particular controller, just as mine has, and I'm sure yours does as well. And I'm sort of in DeFalco mode most of the time. But I have purchased some digital controllers, not digital as in lane changing, digital as in PWM, pulse width modulation. So I'll show you those in a second, and you'll see exactly the task I've given myself. So I bought those controllers recently. I've raced a couple of them. They've got some really good features that you don't get on analog controllers. Whether they're quicker or not, or whether they're more consistent, because those are the 2 things that I'm after. I'm after speed and a speed improvement for a qualifying lap. Can I do that ultimate lap time, qualifying pace? The one-off lap that you really hang it out for. And then the other thing is obviously consistency for race pace. So can I lap consistently at a high level and do it again and again and again? For the duration of a heat, can I do that? And I think particularly that's where some of the digital controllers might score. Outright lap time, maybe more of a DeFalco thing. Consistency, maybe more of a digital thing. I've yet to see. I need to test the controllers to see. So let's take a quick look at them. Here we go. So the first one, my trusty DeFalco, which you guys will recognize, I'm sure. I've put my own hand grip on it. The nice thing, one of the many nice things about the DeFalco is you've got these resistor packs which allow you to change the profile of the trigger action. which is nice. I've cleaned and maintained this one recently, so it's quite a smooth action there, you can see. But only 3 pots, 1, 2, and 1 on the back there. So only 3 pots, and that's about the level of adjustment that you have. So I've also bought, as I mentioned, some PWM controllers. So there's 3 of those, and there they are. Let's look at them in some sort of random order. The first one, I'll go here. This is a +1, what's known as a +1 from a Japanese manufacturer. And you can see that the box is basically, it's almost like a little mini PC. It's got a processor in there that governs all of the profile and the output of the power to the track. And you've got, as usual, some controls like brake and the other things you'd expect, sensitivity, that kind of thing, traction control. And yeah, the other thing, the other area of control where you do get a lot of options is in the black box itself. Now, one of the things I don't like about the +1, I've got to be honest with you, is that it's menu driven. So you select the menu, you scroll through the menu using this knob here, and then you select and adjust the values of each individual parameter that you're looking at, which is great. You've got an awful lot of scope there to make changes to certain parameters. However, it's not very race friendly, because you don't want to be making those changes during a race, because you have to stop, you have to then move your eyes over here, make your changes, save them, go back and then start racing again. So I think the +1 has possibly got a lot of pace, but I don't think it's particularly race friendly. Trigger action's nice, so I'll be looking at that, because obviously if it's a long event, you need to look after yourself, and you need to make sure that you can get to the end of the event. The next controller is one that you guys will recognize, I'm sure. This is the TrueSpeed. I've put a custom set of knobs on just for ease of navigation. If I'm looking down in the middle of a race and I want to see where the brake is red. Brake is red, right? So, and sensitivity is green, etc., etc. I haven't really got to grips with this controller yet. Of course, it's got a great rap. It's done very well in national competitions, and quite rightly so. It's a very well engineered product. Again, the trigger action is nice. The controller feels nice in your hand. It's got this telephone lead arrangement, which is actually just makes it even easier to hold in your hand as well. So you haven't got hold of a heavy lead as well. Like I said, I haven't got to grips with this one yet. This is the subject, going to be the main focus of testing in the coming days. How do I get a grip on the TrueSpeed, and obviously with the +1 as well. And finally, there's a new controller that I'm trying out. I tried a friend's one of these, and I liked it immediately. It doesn't have a black box, it's just got the lead. You plug it in, I'll come back to that in a moment, and you go. And it's very nice. It's got a really smooth feel about it. I could very quickly get to within half a tenth of my times with the DeFalco, which I thought was pretty impressive. It's got good adjustment, and it's got a nice little feature. It's got the emergency brake feature, which you can also use as a dead start as well. This is a very nice controller, and for the price, it's probably the cheapest one here. For the price, it's an excellent looking product. I haven't raced it yet. I'll be racing it tonight with the guys when we get going, and yeah, I expect good things from this controller, as I do with the TrueSpeed. And of course, my fallback option is the DeFalco. So a bad place to be, having DeFalco as your fallback option if nothing else works. If I feel like I've got more consistency, if I feel like I've got more one-lap pace, I'll be staying with the DeFalco. But I'll take a couple of the others with me, likely to be the TrueSpeed and the final one that I showed you, which is the DS Pt1. I'll probably take those two. But I need to do some testing, just in case the +1, the one that's menu driven, just in case that one has got some options and some abilities that I can exploit in a race situation. So that's hand controllers. So that's cars and that's hand controllers. And the third variable I mentioned is the track. Now the track at Electric Dreams, which if you don't know Electric Dreams, you should if you're a slot car fan, because their retail operation is out of this world, and their shop, if you go to their shop, seriously go. If you're near LAX airport, go and have a look. It's easy to get to, very easy to get to, and well worth a visit. The shop has got 3 tracks in it, one of which is the Cunningham Raceway, which is the one we race on. So 6-lane wood routed track, good layout, good for racing. It's not a long lap, it's quite a short lap, but it's good for racing, and very challenging and very rewarding when you hook up a lap or a heat. So however, in 2024 the track was getting a bit tired, and I'm sure the guys at Electric Dreams won't mind me saying this, but it was getting tired and in need of maintenance. So the month of January was taken up with refurbishments at Electric Dreams, and the opportunity was taken to give the track a full refurb, and that's been done now. In 2024 the track had Magna Braid, so if your car had any magnetic downforce at all, it would work on the Cunningham Raceway as it was last year. However, the new braid that's been laid down is not Magna Braid, so that's going to affect the handling and the performance of the cars. So that's going to be an interesting one, and I need to set up my cars so that they can handle a non-Magna Braid track. Now, fortunately, most of my racing recently has been done on non-Magna Braid track, so I'm hoping that I'm going to be okay. And I'm interested to get the opinions of the guys over there who race on it regularly to see what the impact of that new braid has been. So that's the track situation. For me, the track situation has been made a little bit more complicated. Where I race, which is Slot Shop in Sydney, which is currently on the Princes Highway, they're in the process of moving house. So they're moving from Rockdale to another suburb called Panania, which is quite a few kilometres away. And right as I'm about to start my testing process, they have taken down their tracks in readiness for the move. So I don't have a track to test on. So that makes life a bit interesting. I've got some cars I've set up and I need to test them, and I don't have a track to test on. So I've reached out to a couple of friends, guys who've got their own tracks. And I'll talk about the first one today, and I'll talk about the second one when I'm there next. But today I'm at Sydney Motorsport Park, and the reason I'm here is because one of their employees is a guy I race with very regularly, a guy called Jason Brooks, and you guys on the Australian racing scene, you know Jason already. And Jason's purchased a Mr. Tracks modular track system. And he's got a layout which is currently set up in one of the hospitality units at Sydney Motorsport Park. So I actually have a test facility which is like no other test facility I can possibly imagine. So I'm going to flip the phone again, and I'm going to show you the track, and then I'm going to show you its location, because it's a bit mad. So here's the track. I'm just going to squiz the phone over. So there's the track. It's, as I say, it's a modular track. There's the start-finish line. It's made up of about 8 sections, so the good thing about that is there's only 8 joins, and the joins are pretty good, as you can see. Jason's been doing these stickers over the last 2 or 3 weeks. He's done a really good job. They look just like the real track, which I'll show you in a minute. So that's the track. 6 lanes, and most of the turns are constant radius, which is quite similar to the Cunningham Raceway. So I'm hoping this is going to be a reasonable analogue of the Cunningham Raceway. It's not the same layout, obviously, but the fact that it's constant radius turns, the fact that it's short straights, the fact that there are some big sweepers, I'm hoping it's going to give me a reasonable analogue. Now, it is Magna Braid. I'm going to have to factor that into my testing schedule, but what a facility to have. And let me show you exactly where it is. So you can probably see the daylight streaming in through the window. It's a winter's day here in Sydney, but you know, it is still quite light out there. I'll take you over. In fact, I might take you outside, because we're right next to the main straight of Sydney Motorsport Park. There we go. So there's the main straight, there's the start line, there's the pit building. Down there is turn 1, which is a big left-hander. And then over the back, behind the pit building, you can just see a skid pan. You can see the circuit dipping down behind the skid pan over there. and then the track goes off into the countryside a little bit, and then it comes back here down to this section of track behind the trees there. It goes up the hill, right up the hill over there, and then onto the straight again, back down all the way. This is the main pit straight, and there's the start finish line again. So there's some stuff going on today, but not racing, and so it's fairly quiet today. But how's that for a test facility? Yeah, a motor racing circuit, probably one of Australia's best motor racing circuits. I would say there's probably two others that would compete with it, being Bathurst, obviously, which I think most people are familiar with, and the other one being Phillip Island down in Victoria. So yeah, it used to be called Eastern Creek. It's now called Sydney Motorsport Park. Yeah, good track. Yeah, I'm just so lucky to have this this test facility. So I'm going to start testing now. The objective here, as I say, is to take the 9 test cars, whittle them down to 4 if I can. Okay. Controller testing will be on a different day. I will do that from another location probably, and I'll send out a video on that one. So I'm going to leave it there. Last thing, as you know, I like to leave a cookie at the end of each video, and I've been thinking about which one should I leave today. Again, it's not going to be slot car related today. It's going to be a music video. Now, as far as music is concerned, I've got a very broad taste, but if I'm listening to rock and roll, I like to turn it up to 11. And being, living in Australia, you've got to put AC/DC at the front of that. So today's suggestion is go and watch AC/DC at their 2009 River Plate concert. It's one hell of a concert. They nailed every track, and the crowd went nuts. Buenos Aires, respect. Yeah, you guys know how to rock. Just watch the energy in the crowd. They're having such a great time, and the concert was a sellout. I think it was 200,000 people in a football stadium watching AC/DC and bouncing around. Yeah, so go and watch that one. The track in particular I'm going to recommend is Whole Lotta Rosie. Yeah, it's a lovely piece of music, and your foot will tap, I guarantee it. So I'm leaving it there. Have a play with that. It's only a suggestion. I'm only throwing it out there. Enjoy it. Play it a couple of times, whatever. I'll be probably playing it when I'm testing in a minute, and have fun with it. Okay. So until next time, take care of yourself. Take care of each other, and be kind to somebody today. All right. Catch you later. Bye now.